Okay, so I just realized why Scooby wasn't jumping. So if I click on Scooby, I never set the what is ground. So you need to open up the nothing thing and select ground, and then open up again and select platform. So it should have both of them selected. And then I can click play, and now Scooby will jump. Okay, and the way that Scooby is set up is he can double jump. So I click jump once, and while he's still in the air, if I click jump again, he will jump again. Okay, and you can edit some of these things. The reason that we have these things listed as public, like these ones right here, is so that we can edit them in the inspector over here. So I can edit the move speed, and I can edit the jump force, what is ground, and ground check all over here using the inspector instead of having to come over to the code again. And then things that have hide inspector, even though they're listed as public, I can't see them in the inspector because of this tag right here. We want to be able to access everything that's public with other scripts, but I don't want the designer to be changing stuff. I don't want them to change this right here, okay? So, and then all the rest of this down here, these are all private variables, which means that they cannot be changed by another script. So player home cannot change any of these variables. Only stuff, methods inside of player controller can change these variables right here. Okay, so let's finish that prefab. So I clicked on create and I created a prefab. It gave me an empty one that I called ground middle, and then I dragged it into my prefabs folder. I already have one in there, so I'm going to delete this one. And then all I did was I just took my ground middle and I dragged it onto this prefab. So it is, yeah, I'll replace it. So now it basically created this blueprint for this piece right here. So now I can just drag these on. Okay, and when you're creating your ground, you want to make sure they're all the exact same height. So this one's at -4. So this one I want to be at -4 as well. Otherwise, what happens is if they're a little bit off, when Scooby goes to try to walk on them, he's going to be able to get down on this one, but depending on how far apart they are, he may have a hard time getting back on, and it'll make his movement look really jumpy. Okay, so now you can start laying out your level. You're going to create your left ground, middle ground, and right ground pieces and make them into prefabs, and then you can just drag them on and lay out your level that way. The last thing that we want to do, so if you notice as I'm playing, my camera stays in the same spot even when Scooby goes off of the screen, and I don't want that to happen. So Scooby is completely gone now. So I need to take my camera and I need to make it a child of Scooby. So I just drag it on top of Scooby, and now what happens is that camera follows Scooby around. So when I jump, the camera follows Scooby. So good luck. Try creating your first couple of levels. I'm going to use Control-S to save this, and then as you build levels, just add them as buttons on your player home. So just to recap how to add that button, so inside of my player home script, I have this method right here called load next scene, and then I have to add in the text for whatever the next scene is, so that, and then on my button, my level 1 button, I have on click and then player home for my runtime, and then I click the drop down, player home, load next scene, and my string right here that I entered is the name of the level. So then you can create buttons for all your different levels that you want to add.